Charged lemonade, 8 o'clock at night.
12 cups of coffee right there.
You are now listening to LauerRoadRadio.
Let's get it.
What?
At Tanagra, when the walls fell, this is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. We are here in the Daffy Down studios. Go to daffydown.com. Jason's wearing a Daffy Down Industries hat. So is Jesse. Mine I don't know where it is, but I'm not wearing mine currently. But go to daffydown.com, enter Lauer Road Radio into the promo code, and you will get, how much, Jesse?
15%.
That's almost twice as much as 6.
Yeah.
Jesse's here doing what he does.
I'm just here, you know what I mean, chilling it, killing it. I'm just doing big things.
That's not going to be what you just did.
Yeah.
Is not going to become a thing.
It's not.
Okay, no.
Chilling
I know
it
you
and
want it
killing
to
it.
become a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
How long did you plan that?
Now, like, since last week.
You know, sometimes it's a swing and a miss. You know,
I missed.
but I appreciate the effort.
Is it Joe Buck? Swing and a miss.
He doesn't know who Joe Buck is. Preston is here. He also doesn't know who Joe Buck is, but he's the czar of information. Probably playing a game. He's got some kind of Nintendo gadget there, some kind of Game Boy, and Stella
more
is
like a gay boy.
Game Boy. And Stella is here on the ones and zeros. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think you're doing well.
No, I'm doing
I
good.
think you are good, and you're doing well.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'm just doing good.
Ask your wife. She could tell you.
No, I can't ask my wife anything. She corrects me on everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that.
No, I think you're right.
Okay.
But I do good.
I don't know what that was. You've never talked like that before. So.
No. The other day, I was in a Twitter space.
As you do.
As I do. And I do this 2 or 3 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting ready to, we're watching a show or something. And we're getting ready to watch Sunderland Till I Die. And I told Shelby, like, just give me 5 more minutes. Okay. And we're talking.
Can we talk about Sunderland?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I'm getting out of the space, I said, hey, guys, I got to bounce. I'll talk to you later. And I logged off. And Shelby looks at me. She's like, who are you?
Yeah.
I got to bounce.
I got to bounce.
I don't know. That's not.
I don't know. It's definitely not current. There's 100% chance that it's not something the kids are saying.
Are kids saying that now?
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty out of
Yeah,
touch
you're
now.
out of it.
He was never cool anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Stella, do kids say that? I got to bounce?
She doesn't
No.
care.
Okay.
I say that if I'm in an awkward situation, I was like, I gotta bounce out of here.
Yeah.
I just say, I got to skip to my loo.
Have you ever skipped to a loo?
I've skipped, but I fell. So I didn't get to the whole aloo part.
So it's more like a slip.
Yeah.
Okay.
You slipped to your loo.
Yep.
I look at my watch. Yeah. I'll be right. I gotta take this or whatever. I don't know.
Even
And they're like,
when I'm
that's
not wearing my watch. It's the same thing. Like, oh well, look at the time.
Yeah, and they're like, that looks like a cereal box watch you got there. What could that tell you? Anyway, Jason, people have become accustomed to, it's part of the culture of Lauer Road Radio now, to write in on Twitter or the X and just give us stuff to talk about. Not that we have a problem finding things to talk about, because I got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But we will answer the people's questions.
These are unprompted.
Unprompted.
Because people love sending us questions.
They do.
Yeah. So Giblets, Mr. Giblets here, he's one of our loyal listeners. Mm-hmm. He submitted 3. Number 1, Betty Rubble or Betty Boop?
Betty Rubble. I mean, you date Betty Boop, you marry Betty Rubble.
Agreed.
Why not just date both of them?
No, that's true.
For cartoons, they're both very attractive. Disproportionately sized heads. They seem like their heads
Betty
are...
Boop's head is huge.
Yeah, but I think if you did the math on Betty Rubble, her head's going to be bigger than it ought to be. But she's also Cro-Magnon man or something like that. So who knows what they were working
Betty
with.
Rubble or Wilma?
Well,
he didn't ask this, but
okay. Well,
I mean,
that's
if
the
we're
obvious question. This is kind of weird, but you date Betty Rubble and you marry Wilma.
Yeah, there's a hierarchy there.
There is.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean,
totally
Fred
get it.
is Flintstone. He's the alpha.
Yeah.
Barney is not, and so that's why Barney ends up with Betty. Still a pretty good pull for Barney, I
Come on.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like your situation.
I think so.
Yeah, and I'm Fred and Wilma.
Sure.
Okay, next. What is the weirdest thing that Jesse has ever done in your house?
No,
Now, first of all, I've never let Jesse in my house, so
That's smart.
he's never done anything.
But I
in my
have been
house.
inside.
So here's my answer.
You found the
Give me
key?
the exact question.
You found the key?
He's not listening. He phases out. Give me the exact question.
The exact question. What is the weirdest thing Jesse has ever done in your house?
So the first answer is I really wish I knew, and I'm quite sure I don't.
He doesn't. There is a thing.
But the thing that I know that Jesse does,
Is this
that's strange,
reoccurring?
Yes. Every single week he uses our restroom and he turns the picture around because we have a shelf above the toilet, and it's a picture of Erica and I when we were engaged, I think. And every week, the next day after we recorded, Jesse uses the restroom. He turns that picture around because he doesn't want me, looking at him while he's using the restroom.
No, I'm fine with you looking at me.
Okay.
It's Erica
Yeah,
looking
and
at me.
both
It's just
and the picture does have us going like this. I don't know why we took a picture like that.
They're called the hell romantic.
I've been doing that for a long
You need to
time.
redo a new picture.
You do.
That's true. We should.
Only put it in the bathroom on Thursdays. No, I've been doing that for a while
Yeah.
now, and I didn't know that you knew. I was like, I'm just going to keep on doing it.
I knew. It makes me chuckle every time.
Yeah,
I like it.
Is that the weirdest thing that you'll admit to?
That I'll admit to, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Last, of the people currently in the room, who is the most likely to scream the loudest when a bug lands on him? Well, I would say Stella.
I feel like it's Jesse.
But, well, it depends on what kind of bug.
Yeah.
Stella, you would yell, right? Yeah, Stella would definitely.
Yeah.
She would be.
Stella knows how to yell.
Well,
She saves it.
It's like,
Oh no!
there's
going
a
to
bug
die.
on me.
Yeah, probably Stella, I guess. Being a
Okay.
female, she's got that, female constitution, afraid of
yeah,
things and whatnot. I don't know.
things like that. Yeah. So, let's see here. There were some more recent
So many
ones.
questions. That's what I heard.
There's a lot of
all of this response, and all we get is 3 questions from Giblets.
No, there was lots of.
Sure.
Boy Blob submitted some. The problem is I'm not having a hard time finding them.
Yeah, if only you could
Oh,
have
here's one
foreseen the
from-
fact that we'd be recording right now.
Blob Boy.
Uh-huh.
Mount Rushmore of Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh, gosh. Okay, pull this up, Preston. We're going to need some help, because there are a lot of Nicolas Cage movies you forget. But the point of a Mount
what's
Rushmore...
the one with the flowy hair and the
Con Air.
Con Air.
So Con Air. So here, first of all, just in case this is the first time or you're a newbie to Lauer Radio, you're not a full-fledged Lauer Patch Kid yet. The Mount Rushmore is not what we think are our favorites.
Correct.
They're also not the best.
Correct.
They are the most iconic. Like when you think of Nick Cage, you think of this.
Yeah.
So definitely Con Air.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely The Rock.
Yeah.
Right? I would say definitely. What's the
where he
one?
steals the Declaration of
Yeah,
Independence?
that's the one.
Oh
National
yeah,
Treasure.
National Treasure.
Yeah.
And I would say
Face off?
no. Something Arizona.
Rising Arizona.
Yeah, Rising Arizona.
Rising or something.
Something like that. Or the one. There's the one that one of the things that kind of made him popular was the one where I think it's called "It Could Happen to You," and he had a lottery ticket that was a winner, and he shared it with the waitress.
Yep, that's the one.
Is it called "It Could Happen to
Yeah.
You"? I feel like that's what I would put on there. I know.
I don't think it's iconic enough.
Okay. Well,
What's the last one you
there?
said? Before that?
Rising. What is it? Arizona. Something Arizona.
Trying to find it here.
Arizona Rising, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we can't think of it, it's not iconic.
My favorite Nick Cage is the one where he's the vampire. It's a newer one.
Okay. I
Oh
don't-
my!
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good. When
He has become a meme of himself, though. Yeah.
20 years ago, I thought Nick Cage was stupid.
20 years ago was 2004.
Yeah.
So, 30 years ago, we thought Nicolas Cage was the greatest actor that ever walked the face of the earth.
Well, it's come full circle.
Uh-huh.
And
So
now we think that
he
again.
was great in
Uh-huh.
the 80s, 90s, and then kind of early 2000s it was like, oh man, Nick Cage, and
Yeah.
it was like a joke.
Yeah.
Did you know they almost cast him to play Aragorn? Like
That
it was
would've been
actually
so
close. Can you even imagine?
No.
You know
That
who
would've been so
Aragorn is?
No.
That would be
I assume some Star Trek thing
Yeah,
or something.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Checks out.
Yep, Star
Yep.
Trek. So, could you imagine?
I think he said recently he wants to be in a Star Trek film.
Oh, I'd love to see him in a Star Trek movie.
What role would you put him in?
Klingon. Don't you
What, like-
think? He's got to be a Klingon.
A captain?
Yeah, like who was the guy that was the great Klingon in I think it was The Search for Spock, where
Oh, yeah,
he
yeah.
was it's the guy that plays in Back to the Future.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd is one of my favorite Klingons,
Yeah.
maybe the best.
He was
and
the
I
best.
think Nick Cage could like harness that
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd energy.
Yeah.
The kind of crazy off kilter. So the Mount Rushmore of Nick Cage movies: Con Air, The Rock, National Treasure, and do we have a final one? Preston, just can you throw some at us?
We could say Renfield. That was the newest one he was in.
No,
Renfield.
no,
No.
keep going.
I like Renfield.
Gone in 60 seconds or
Oh,
something?
there it
it.
is.
That's it.
There it
Yeah.
is. Gone in 60
Yeah.
seconds. That's it.
How did I forget that?
Well, it wasn't great. Turns out
has
it
a
had that
great
one scene. It had that one scene when he was like, "Let's ride," and it's like bump 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 bump. That was a great scene.
Yeah.
But I'll bet you. When's the last time you saw that movie?
It's been a couple years.
Go home and watch it. Doesn't hold up. I've not seen it since it came out, but I'll bet you it doesn't hold up.
I like it.
You might like it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't hold up.
Eleanor. That's the name of the car
Yeah.
he's going after.
Oh yeah.
It's
You know,
something
six-
Shelby 66.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was recently a Superman in a movie, and it was really uncomfortable.
Superman.
Nick
Yeah.
Cage?
Yeah.
How
he
did
was
I
a
miss
CGI'd Superman in The Flash, and it was really bad.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, DC knocking it out of the park again.
Yeah.
What else we got?
DC is a trash hole.
They got Batman and they got Superman and they got Wonder Woman and they got Aquaman and they can't win with
Yeah.
any of it.
No.
Like you have gold sitting there. And
the Joker might be
when
one of the
does
greatest
Superman
villains.
become? Look this up. When does Superman become public domain? That's what I
Okay,
want to know.
so, the
because
first-
when Superman becomes public domain, somebody's going to do with Superman what
what someone should have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think 1939 was the first Superman.
In 10 years from now.
10 years from now,
Yeah.
mark my words, 15 years from now or whatever,
Yeah.
someone will do with Superman what they should have done with Superman.
Yeah.
And they'll kill it.
Yeah.
But right now, whoever's in charge of DC, they're not doing a good job.
No. Blob Boy also says, this is relevant to right now. Who is the absolute last person you would like to share a bathroom stall with?
Jesse. I'm about to put in my 2 weeks of this man farts in my face again.
We just shared one like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah. You doing okay? You need to go. Need to go. Preston's stepping outside just for a little bit. It's just too much.
Stepping on things, tripping on wires.
I think I actually really ticked him off this time. He does not look happy.
He left. He might be gone.
He left his video game here, so he'll come
be
back.
back.
He'll be back.
He'll come back. It was bad.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Stella's fine.
I'm glad it's, I don't know. Stella grew up in a house with a bunch of boys, so she's become immune. Her nose has become seared to smell. She can't smell anything anymore.
Guys, I think Preston had a long day.
Yeah.
He was not about my bullcrap when he came in.
Yeah.
And
He
I've
shouldn't have
just
been. He
kept
should-
it going.
He's put up with it longer than anybody else would have. There's no way I'd sit next to you that long.
I love you, Preston.
He can still smell it. Preston's got an amazing
He has a
nose. Maybe that's why it bothers him so much.
Yeah.
It hits him deep. I have this thing. Speaking of sharing a stall, you said who you don't want to share a stall. That's
Yeah.
the most obvious question. It's Jesse. Speaking of, I
don't even want to share a stall with myself.
yeah. If I'm going co-pilot, I don't want to go co-pilot with Jesse. I have this little game that I play at Panera. So sometimes I go to Panera all day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go for a little bit, but sometimes I got my laptop. I don't have to be anywhere. I could work from my laptop. I'll be there for 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'll show up at 6 a.m. I'll just be there all day. And what you do when you're at Panera all day and you have the subscription, you drink all day.
Yeah.
And so I'll do this thing where it's a little game I play with myself where I see how much I can drink before I just cannot stand it anymore.
Yeah.
And I have to use the restroom. Like, how long can I hold it in?
Yeah.
And I like swell up. Like I'm just so, and then and then I'll pee, right?
Yeah.
And here's the goal. The goal is that someone is in the stall using the restroom while I pee, and I pee for so long that they tell the story for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
like
you would not
like,
believe.
listen, I don't, I started timing it after I already thought it was long, and it was 2 minutes after that, or something like that.
Like an
And
Austin
people are
Powers
like,
pee?
Yeah, like that, yeah. And people are gonna like not believe him, and he's like, no, I swear to you. And they're like, come on, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know until I get to heaven if I will accomplish that goal. You know, I think I'll be walking by the tranquil sea, and there's gonna somebody put an arm there. I mean, like, you know, I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for that.
Well done, good and faithful servant.
Miraculous. Something about that in that moment, I was like, miracles can happen.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of videotapes I want to check out when I get to heaven.
The blockbuster at heaven is just going to be amazing. So,
as a percentage, how often do you think you wash your hands after you go to the restroom? Like how many times out of 10?
what you answer first, Jesse?
Well, I'm kind of gauging the room here.
Is it going to change your answer?
No.
Okay.
I just don't want to be the first.
I feel like someo's asked us this question already.
I'm sure we
I feel like we've
talked
addressed
about
this.
Yeah. I would say for me, in a public setting, 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
In a private setting, 2.
Just when you go number 2?
Yeah, just when I go number 2.
No.
I always wash my hands when I go number 2.
Always?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't always wipe.
Yes, I do.
Oh. Sometimes it's a single wipe.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
if life is good. That's like how you know you're going to have a good day. But so always with number 2. And it just depends on the other. I hardly ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you?
Almost never with either.
Yeah.
In any setting.
Yeah, that checks out.
Sometimes I'll even be in a urinal, like you're not in a urinal, peeing at a urinal, and there'll be a guy in the bathroom, and I will act like I'm peeing longer just so he leaves, so I don't feel pressure to wash my hands.
So it's the shame.
It
so
is.
you only wash your hands when you feel pressure. about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Okay.
Good.
One
to
more
know.
One more Mount Rushmore.
Let's do it.
Mount Rushmore of places to poop.
Oh, I feel like we've done this. Like, we're running out of stuff, Jason. I think that so like, is this like toilet, or is this like
I would say like your house,
gas station?
Gas station.
Okay, these are
porta
general,
potty.
not
Yeah.
specific places.
Not specific.
Like the Sheets on 23 has a really good,
Listen, there's a Shell on 95 and 71.
Mm-hmm.
It has an outside bathroom entrance. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
I would stop there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would, I used to travel for work, and I would have a little bag of cleaning supplies,
Mm-hmm.
and I would bring the cleaning supplies into that bathroom, and I kind of clean up ahead of time, do my business, and bounce.
bounce.
Yeah.
Bounce.
But that Shell was a great place because
Okay.
outside entrance, there's no cars, there's no people.
Home,
Porta potty.
porta potty. I don't know.
Jesse, I mean, you have more experience with this.
I mean, in the
TJ
studio,
Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
You do like to go at TJ Maxx.
Listen, there are not very many bathrooms at stores or any other location that I haven't dropped one
They're
in.
like my kids when they're little. Like they just always wanted to, because they wanted to like check it out. They're like, oh, I need to use yours.
Like,
I'm do you though?
Yeah. Like that app that we've talked about it times before about, you could track where you poop. If I actually committed to doing that, I would be the leader on that app by far.
Yeah.
Is there a leaderboard?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point in tracking if there's not a leaderboard?
Craplication.
Crapplication.
That's good.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, what do we...
Is that it? Is that all the...
yeah, there's some more other stuff, but it's
Okay, listen, if you want to write in, make it good. Or do what those guys did. All right, let's go here. Oh, okay. Let's just make it a potty episode, okay?
Yes.
We've avoided this
we
for a
really
long time.
do avoid it, but eventually, just like the potty, it just comes around. You can't avoid it. You can only avoid it for so long.
Yeah.
So, I'm Aaron, Aaron, guest on the last show.
Yeah.
And I are going for a run at Tallgrass. And we wanted to go for a 5-mile run is what we were going for. So, you run out and you run back. And as we're running, one of us, I don't need to get into it. One of us started to feel a rumbly in the tumbly, if you know what I'm talking about.
I gotcha.
You
I
know,
felt that.
and sometimes you can tell that it's not going to be pretty, you know. And this turns out to be, and I'm not going to say which one of us because I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. But one of us said, "You keep on going because I got to stop. You hit me on the way back." And
I'm gonna need you to run for about 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes back. It'll be about 20 minutes.
So the other one did what I asked him. I mean, what he anyway. So and then as we were running, the conversation came up. Basically, if you're in that situation on a trail hike or you're just out in the middle of nowhere, are you and let's assume there's no good greenery around in which to clean up with.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of clothing in that situation to basically take one for the team and stay there for all of eternity?
I would say 2 options. One would be an undershirt.
Sure, undershirt if you can get it. But whoever was the person that had to go, they only had the one shirt.
Yeah, well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I would say the next best choice would be sock.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said sock.
But then you're running around with one sock and one shoe.
I mean, underwear is also an option if you're willing to go commando.
Yeah.
Which on a run you don't want to do. I can attest to that, especially now.
Or if you're wearing jeans.
Or if you're wearing jeans, that's a problem. So, so that was the question that we were wrestling with. What's the best piece of clothing to
The undershirt 1, sock 2, underwear 3.
Yeah. And shortly afterwards, there were a couple of ladies walking the other way, and I was like, "Should we tell them? Like, is it gentlemanly?"
Well,
to
you
let
did do it
them know?
right on the path.
Excuse me, ma'am. Just so you know, I feel it my obligation to let you know that somebody,
Not one of us.
who may or may not have eaten corn, was along the trail right here, and you're just going to want to watch your step. So, the great thing about the Tallgrass Trail is you can see for miles both ways. So if you're way out in the middle of nowhere, you know you're safe. It's going to be, unless somebody is really booking it, you got some time to work with. So anyway, there it is.
Yeah.
Sock. I said sock too. I
sock
thought
is pretty
I went
obvious.
with sock. Yeah.
Well, you get multiple wipes out of it too.
If you know what you're doing.
Front, back, inside out, front and back again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to.
I would probably use both socks because I don't want to walk around with one sock. That's just
The
weird.
question is was it a solid one, or are we having like the rumblies and it's really bad?
I don't know. You'd have to ask whoever it was who used the restroom. Once again, I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. It was one of us. That's all I can say.
So I have a couple of things here
Okay.
tonight. I have an embarrassing moment. And I just want to ask you how you feel about this.
Okay.
So I was listening to a podcast at work,
As you do.
as I do, and it was funny. So
Okay.
I'm sitting there, working, and I've got my, earbuds in. Nobody can hear what I'm listening to.
Sure.
And I catch myself just smiling. I'm not laughing out loud, but
Yeah.
I'm just smiling.
Yeah.
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm smiling like an idiot.
Why are you smiling at work?
Why are you smiling at work? Right? So I want to know the Mount Rushmore of things that will make you smile.
Okay.
Okay? So listen, I think a couple things are pretty obvious.
Okay.
Like something like a comedic bit.
So here's my question. It's an involuntary smile. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, like I did not intend to
right.
smile.
Because one of the reason I smile the most is walking past someone.
Well, I hate that.
I smile at people
you
to
feel
show them
obligated to smile.
Yes, I'm not threatening. I mean you no harm.
Right. You make eye contact with someone and you do that fake smile. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. So but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about just
Involuntarily.
couldn't help it.
I couldn't
Wasn't
help it.
trying to smile,
Yeah.
and now I'm smiling.
I don't like to smile. Like just in general.
Sure. No,
But
I
if you're
know that.
laughing, that's something different. What's that?
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just walking around Walmart. I'm not smiling around Walmart. I mean, it's
No.
just weird.
It's weird when people are, that kind of person that just always smiles.
I don't like
I
that.
don't like that either.
No, something's wrong.
Off kilter.
So Mount Rushmore of things to make you smile.
Well, humor.
Involuntary. Yeah, humor.
Humor would be one. I would say puppies.
I think puppies can make you smile.
How do you not smile when you see a puppy?
I would also
I've seen some ugly puppies though. So
Ugly puppies.
I don't
Yeah.
think those make me smile. I'm just like,
Midgets.
midgets. You just smile when you see a midget.
Every single time.
Can I say winning?
Oh yeah,
How's that?
yeah.
So we played a volleyball game. Your son and your daughter are on my volleyball team, and we unexpectedly won against a team that was considerably better than us. And we all smiled.
Yeah.
We were all happy,
Yeah.
and we weren't trying to smile, but we just won a volleyball game,
Yeah.
and so we smiled. So I would say winning. If your team wins,
Yeah.
if you're rooting for a team and they win,
Yeah,
I think you smile.
Yeah.
Like you're happy about that.
I'm gonna throw
So-
an unexpected one here.
all right.
Babies.
Yeah, I don't think that's unexpected, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's not the craziest.
He's like,
thing.
I know most people hate them, but
Yeah. No, I got a hot take on babies, guys. I know normally you're thinking gross. I hate those things, but
They're disgusting
in
little
my
monsters.
experience,
No, like our sister fosters, and occasionally she'll have a baby
she
come
fosters guilt, hatred towards us, frustrations towards us. She
Yeah.
fosters a lot of that emotion
Bears
toward
it
us,
deep inside.
deep inside. And no,
She fosters
so
kids and
so we've
babies.
been around some babies at family functions because we were kind of past that.
Through. Well, it's been
Age.
like 12 years minimum for me.
Yeah.
Before we had babies in the house, and so when we're at a family function with our sister, and she has a baby with her, I end up holding the baby at some point, and I catch myself smiling.
I always think it's funny when like a toddler does that kind of like they're playing and stuff, and then all of a sudden they kind of lean over, make a face, their face gets red, a little bit of water comes out of their eyes, and they're like, and then they just smile and keep on running. Like
You just filled your pants.
somebody take care of this.
which I do want to give an honorable mention on the Mount Rushmore.
Of
A
smiling.
good poop.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't smile.
I smile the whole time.
I don't think so. Not
You don't
for
laugh,
me.
you just
Not
smile.
for
Yeah,
me.
just
I'd like to say humor,
Yeah.
babies and winning. I think belong on the
Humors,
list.
babies, winning, and puppies.
Puppies. I
Unless you
think
want
we
to
can
replace
find
puppies.
a better one
What
than
about
puppies.
a good meal?
I was about to say that.
Like
a
they
good
bring you the
burger.
mini chimneys when they bring you the mini
Do I
chimneys?
smile when they bring me mini chimneys? Yes, I smile when they bring me mini chimneys.
I mean, who won it?
but I don't know that I don't know if that the mini chimneys. Oh gosh, far be it from me. But I don't know that mini chimneys belongs on the list. Involuntary smile. Yeah, I don't know. So we got humor. That's a pretty wide swath.
Yeah.
Humor, babies, winning, and well, something good happens. Yeah. How about
At this point, it's either puppies or food. Unless you've got another one in there.
Yeah. I don't think I do. I feel like there's.
I just
right
don't do a
into
lot
the
of
show,
smiling. I don't do a lot of smiling.
You don't do a lot of smiling. Right at the show, tell us what we missed, but we're down to puppies or food. Do I smile more at puppies or do I smile more at food?
Well, here's the thing. I would say you smile more at food. Not because you're fat, which you are.
Yeah,
But I
it's-
say,
yeah.
I mean, that's a given.
Sure.
But you do not want another puppy.
I don't want another puppy.
When Boomer is done.
People have offered me puppies. People are trying to give me puppies. I don't want your puppy. Okay? Like, I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. So your smile reaction to the puppies is
I don't
more
like
like
it. When,
Well,
when we get around
wedding.
puppies, Erica and the girls and they all smile.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
no more
Well,
puppies.
I will not show even. I'm giving no hope to this
yeah.
thought that we're ever going to get.
But the
another
mini
dog.
chimneys, you're
mini
grinning
chimneys?
ear to ear.
What about
I'm
a
smiling.
wedding? Wedding and or
Oh.
funeral?
And or funeral. Well,
Okay.
depends.
Yeah, it depends. On both, really.
Yeah.
A bit of weddings, like, oh man, I am not behind this. Yeah.
Weddings are
Weddings
that's a good one.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're just like welling up. You're like, You son of a gun, you did it. I don't know.
I was watching the Nature Boy documentary 30 for 30. Ric Flair.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Woo! Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I like Ric Flair. Ric Flair is one of my favorites. And he goes through a whole series. Guy partied like an animal.
He partied like it was 1999 every day
for like 40, 50 years. He was just drinking and smoking and sleeping around. I mean, the dude partied for 40 years solid.
That'd make you smile.
Tonight we're gonna
Well, here's the thing.
party
So,
like
like, it's a roller coaster because his son got to the age where he was starting to wrestle. He's like 20, 21 years old, and he's hitting the professional circuit. And they found him. He had overdosed and died. And so
That's the
Ric
problem
Flair
with
is just
partying.
like, yeah. Well, I mean, it catches up with you eventually. And so, like, Ric Flair's all in tears. He's all crying and stuff and trying to retell that story. And it was, like, really heartfelt. Like, I'm almost in tears watching it. And then, unexpectedly, his daughter, who was a couple years younger, got into professional wrestling. And she did really well for herself. And she ended up winning a title.
That would make me cry.
And
if my daughter got into professional wrestling.
And so
I failed as a father.
He's in the ring, and her daughter wins a championship, and he hugs her. And I catch myself smiling at this. Like, this...
Well, shucks.
Like, it brought it full circle, you know?
Yeah.
If my daughter could be a professional wrestler and win the world championship...
That story is so stupid. I mean, it is so incredibly stupid.
What? It made me smile. I felt so...
Okay, can I give the harsh, jaded review of that story?
Yeah.
So here you got a guy who lives for himself his entire life.
Yeah.
Just does whatever he wants to do.
He abandoned his kids.
He abandoned his kids.
Yeah.
He parties, and then he passes that habit onto them.
Yeah.
Tragically,
his
son dies.
That was
and
rough.
then his daughter, instead of making really great, goes into professional wrestling, an industry that is only behind pornography and objectifying women, you know, and so his daughter goes into that industry like it's a good thing. Okay.
Pornography and wrestling.
No, I'm saying the only industry that objectifies women more than wrestling is pornography. Like,
maybe.
Well, I don't know what does more than that. Anyway, we're gonna do the Mount Rushmore of that one. But
I got a whole list.
So I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
Which makes him smile.
In other words, he puts so his daughter is in this really kind of like horrible thing for women.
Yeah.
And then she wins a fake championship.
Yeah.
And then somehow that's supposed to make all of that other crap go away. Like, you know what? It actually all kind of turned out okay. You know, like nothing of that is fixed, but somehow it's turned out. It's a stupid story.
I liked it.
Okay.
I like Ric Flair.
Listen, do I want things to work out for Ric Flair and his family? Sure I do. I hope everything works out. But it doesn't sound like he's taken the right lessons. But maybe I need to watch the documentary.
I think you do.
Okay. Maybe I need to be educated.
So I got one more thing, but
you know what?
stuff.
I'm just here for the ride. I got stuff. I can wait. I can talk about it now. We could do the Netflix suggestion of the week. We could just sit here and stare at each other for the next 15 minutes.
Carol asked if you could have any type of hairdo, what would it be? 'Cause we're both bald.
Yeah.
And so I guess the question for me, I would like to tweak it a little bit. Would you rather be bald with a full beard or a full head of hair with no beard?
Like unable to grow a beard.
Correct. Okay. You can only grow one. Hair on your head only grows in one place. Either a full
for
beard.
Me, it's a beard.
Or me too.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Do we get to pick like how long the beard is? Like it can be
or
your
hair.
It's just a great beard. It's thick and long if you want it to be. Or you know.
I'm taking the beard.
Yeah. Beards are cool.
Yeah.
As a man. Now, I think if I was a woman, I'd have a different answer.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm assuming Carol would have a different answer.
She would. She'd probably go hair.
Yeah, probably. So, but she wants to know what kind of haircut we would have.
Yeah.
Probably flock of seagulls, don't you think? What? Flock of seagulls? Google flock of seagulls haircut. Show it to Jesse. It's if you don't know, stop, pause the podcast right now. Google flock of seagulls.
Come back to it.
Come back to it. But that's the haircut. I mean, I don't know. There's not a better one than that. I feel like haircuts peaked in the 80s with that band, and then it just, since then it's
I would rock a mullet.
Of course you would rock a mullet.
Yeah.
Ollie, our youngest, he has a nice flowing.
He was born to wear a mullet.
He has, and we got his haircut today, and I had the sides trimmed short.
Yeah.
And the two
tracks.
the racing stripes in him.
Yeah.
Man, he looks so cool.
He does.
He
look
just
cool.
needs a pair of pit vipers and a rolled up pack of cigarettes in his shirt sleeve.
So I'm not wrong. Flock of Seagulls. It's epic, right?
It's probably the best thing I've seen.
Yeah, it's tremendous. It's a band in the 80s. So I'm going to say Flock of Seagulls, and you say just
I'd rock a mullet.
Solid mullet.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I
Afro?
don't know that I can do this. I was going to say Mount Rushmore of mullets. Is like Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, I don't know if I could do.
I don't know if I could do this either.
I mean, it's basically all NASCAR drivers.
Well, baseball players too, like
Oh,
that
yeah,
Phillies
yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Phillies team? It was
I
like
do.
Darren Dalton, Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah, and Oakland A's had some mullets.
Yeah, the Oakland A's had some good.
Well, Dennis
Jose
Eckersley.
Dennis Eckersley
Yeah.
was.
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson had a good mullet.
What did
Brad
Vanilla
Pitt,
Ice
decent
have
one.
one?
No,
That was just
not
long
really.
flat
hair.
top.
Yeah.
Not
Hulk
Vanilla
Hogan.
Ice.
Who?
Ooh,
Hulk
Hulk
Hogan.
Hogan. Well,
Oh,
is that
not
a?
a mullet
He was
either.
At one
thinning up
point.
top.
I don't think. I think it was an involuntary mullet. I just think
Brad
It's
Pitt.
a-
When he
it's
had
a-
a mullet.
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
It was all right.
I don't.
It's not
But
on the
when I
Mount
think of Brad
Rushmore.
Pitt, I don't
Yeah.
think mullet in the way that I think of these other guys. But Billy Ray Cyrus, he's the king, right?
Yeah.
Nobody had a better mullet than Billy Ray Cyrus. All right, Jason, what do you want to talk about, or do you want to do? Let's do the Netflix suggestion of the week.
Okay.
Because we're
Did
right
you want
there.
to talk Sutherland first?
Sunderland?
Oh,
let's
wait.
use the
Okay.
Netflix. I'll talk about it during the Netflix suggestion of the week, which is just about ready to play now.
Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe
Jason,
Hulu Plus.
We all got to watch something,
Yeah.
or just sit at home quietly thinking about our imminent death. So instead of that, we put something on the TV and get distracted for a while. So what is your Netflix suggestion of the week?
Last night, I watched the 1995, March 26, 1995, Michael Jordan on NBA.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Did you do this?
So here's my Netflix suggestion. 91 Bulls. I watched
dude.
the 91 Bulls versus the game one
Yeah, okay.
against the Trailblazers.
No, listen.
Why would we both do that?
This is the weirdest thing ever. I don't know why. Are YouTube's are they linked somehow? I don't know. But listen, I
I
started watching.
searched for it. It wasn't a suggestion. I was like, you know what? I want to watch Michael Jordan in his prime.
So listen, it was Michael Jordan's 55 game when he came back. He was wearing 45.
Uh-huh.
He had played 6 games at that point. Goes into
New
Madison
York.
Square
Yeah.
Garden and put up 55 and won the game.
We watched that game at a
Sports
sports
bar.
bar in Powell.
Yeah. And so I was flipping through YouTube suggestions, and it popped up as a suggestion. And my kids are sitting there, I'm like, this is what we're going to watch.
We're going to watch this.
And it was like 2.5 hours.
Be educated.
And it was, I mean,
Did
you
it have
remember-
commercials on it?
It didn't.
I
That's
know.
I
That was
wish-
my problem
I
with
know.
mine too.
Yeah.
And it was an NBA like production, so they even took out the NBA on NBC. Bum,
Oh,
ba,
yeah.
da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, da, da,
So
do,
to-
do, 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 do,
So
ba, da,
tonight,
da,
listen.
da, 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 da.
On the tonight before the show, I watched the 1987 All-Star Game.
Oh, okay. That would have
was
been
pretty
a good one.
That was really good.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
It was Dr. J's last All-Star appearance.
But Jordan was there.
Jordan was there.
Yeah.
Moses Malone was
Yeah,
there.
there was a real kind of like
A crossover between
Yeah.
the old school and the
Malone and Stockton. Were they there?
Stockton was not,
But
and Malone
Malone-
was not.
Really?
No, Moses Malone was there.
Yeah. Right.
Charles Barkley's first All-Star game.
Yeah, for
It was
the Philadelphia.
Akeem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
I mean it. Tom Chambers.
Listen, Tom Chambers is underrated.
Tom Chambers won the MVP of that game.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
Tom Chambers was a beast. So I was just sitting at home, and so Erica is continuing to not watch television. God knows why. But I was like, you know what? This is going to work out for me because I can watch whatever I want.
Yeah.
So I turned on, I just felt like watching, I just had this thought, like, I want to watch Michael Jordan. So I pulled up the Michael Jordan versus the Blazers. That was his second NBA championship.
Yeah.
Game 1.
Okay.
And I had forgotten. I just saw that it was Game 1 against the Blazers. Like, this is Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter, Duckworth, Kersey, Cliff Robinson, Danny Ainge was on that team. That was a great team. That team was solid. So I was like, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
So I turned it on. And the Blazers hit, I think, their first 8 shots.
Yeah.
They were on fire.
Yeah.
I think Jordan had missed a couple of shots, and then it got nuts. And then Jordan ended up making, I think, 6 or 7 3-pointers. That's the game where he went like this.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That's
that famous.
classic,
He just couldn't miss.
Yeah.
Anything that, whether backups, and then he was messing with them because then they were all scared of him,
Yeah.
and he was just assist after assist after assist. He owned them. I think he had like 36 points in the first half. He just lit them up.
Yeah.
And as I'm watching, I'm like, this is different.
It is different.
And that Blazers team was good.
Yeah.
And they tried to fight back. Terry Porter was on fire in the first half too. He just couldn't miss too.
That is
but Jordan just overwhelmed him.
I don't understand how we both watch old NBA games.
It
this
just
week.
came to me. It was just I'm just sitting there on the couch and I just had this revelation. Watch Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Okay.
So we could talk about.
Well, it started because Gideon asked me because the NBA All Stars just had their game, and the final score is like 210 to 208 or something. It was so stupid. I told Gideon that's not basketball. That they're just going up and down the court and shooting.
It's so stupid.
They're not playing defense. The whole thing is stupid.
It's awful.
So I wanted to show them an old school game. Like this is how you play
they
basketball.
Cared. And those All-Star games, what they did, and that was the right way to do the All-Star game, is it was soft defense until the fourth quarter.
No, 87, they were rough.
They were going hard. Those guys were all pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite the same. But they
the
would
fourth quarter,
always lock down in the fourth quarter. Be like,
Yeah.
okay, now we're actually going to play.
Yeah.
And that was when you really leaned in. You're like, this is going to be good.
Well, that 87 was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Larry Bird's might be the most competitive person.
Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
People don't understand. We're not a sports show anymore. And so we're not going to talk about
We're going to break
sports.
down 1987 NBA All-Stars.
That's our sweet spot. That's the pocket for us. 80s and 90s. We can talk about that all day. But Kevin McHale.
Probably from like 85 to 95.
Kevin McHale. Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah.
Kevin McHale was good.
Yeah.
Man, he was good.
Underrated.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's not this.
So many people have already tuned out.
I know.
They don't care.
I'm sorry.
We're breaking down 1987 All-Stars.
The 1987 All-Star Game. Yeah. I'm going to watch that tonight. Should we talk about Sunderland or should we let these guys do their Netflix? And then we'll get back to it. Jesse, what have you been watching?
Savannah, I've been watching the show on Netflix called The Good Place. It's about people who die.
Ted Danson.
Yep, he's in it.
Dax Shepard's wife.
Yes, Dax Shepard's hot wife.
I don't know. I don't know her name.
I like every movie she's in. Kristen Bell.
Yeah. Bell.
/Shrake. -Shrake, whatever. Anyway, we're probably going to be done watching it after Savannah listens to this episode.
I used to know a guy that whenever he was talking about, I don't know, so it was construction, so, lady talk would come up. And he would always call
Lady talk.
Lady talk. That's what we called it in construction.
Okay, boys.
I know.
Time for that lady talk.
They would, whatever. I did not partake, but he used to always call women his future ex-wife. That was like his favorite thing. So anyway,
it's pretty good. It's about people who die and they show up and they're told by Ted Danson, "Hey, you've lived a good life. You've
Who's Ted Danson?
He's the guy from
No. It's his character.
Show. Oh, in the show, he's
Ted Danson just shows up as Ted Danson.
That would be cool.
Here's the story,
he's
guys.
the architect of.
He's
the
not
Good
God,
Place.
but
No, he actually ends up being a demon because after like the very end of the season,
Plot
they
twist.
find out. They find out they're not actually in the good place. They're in the bad place, which was meant to torture them for eternity. And he kind of crafted this whole thing because the way they normally torture people is all kinds of terrible things, bugs. In the eyeballs, all that stuff. And he had this plan like, hey, we can torture them by making them think they're not being tortured, but setting things up.
Have you seen The Sixth Sense?
No.
Okay, they're the kid just sees dead people. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. So
okay,
yeah. I just thought I'd do for you what you just did for us. I mean, you just completely gave away.
Well, it's 4 seasons, and I don't think y'all are watching.
I'm not watching.
Yeah. So, but it's pretty good. It's fairly clean. Like while they're in the good place,
They changed
they
bad language.
changed bad
we get it.
language.
Yeah, we get
and
it. Just remember when you ever do see The Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis, you're going to see him, you're going to think he's alive. He's not.
he's not alive.
He's a dead person.
Is that the one where the kid's like, I see dead
Yeah,
people?
it's a great
Never
plot.
seen it.
I'm at the end. It's just like, but
Is
you're
there
not going
a
to have
parrot?
that because I just
No, and I'm
ruined
not
it
going
for
to
you.
watch it.
Yeah,
So
It's a great movie.
it holds up.
Preston, what
Preston, what have you been watching? What kind of Marvel /
Anime.
monster?
Actually, none of that.
Okay.
I watched the early 2000s Garfield the other day.
Even
2000s?
better.
The 90s Garfield.
Wait a minute, was it Garfield and Friends? Come on
No,
in,
this is
it's
like
time to
the
place where fun
live
never
action
ends.
with,
Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and Friends. Garfield and Friends.
With Wade the Duck?
Yeah, I liked that better than I liked Garfield.
Yeah. The pig?
The pig and the duck. The pig's name was like
Yeah. You're right there.
Ham. It's
Wade
like
the Duck was
Wade the Duck was cool.
He had like a life preserver
Yeah,
on
I
with
know.
another
I
duck.
know Wade the Duck. Yeah. That was the and Friends of Garfield and
Yeah.
Friends. I liked that.
That
show.
90s Garfield
Oh.
was rock.
Mount Rushmore of Cartoon Ducks.
Okay, let's do it.
It was
What's that?
It was live action with Bill Murray.
Bill Murray?
Oh.
Yeah.
What year is that?
2004.
Okay, I don't care about that.
It was dumb, but I watched it.
I love Bill Murray.
Anything post 2000.
But, yeah, I'm out.
See,
We're
anything
90s.
anything pre 2000 for us, we're like, nah.
Yeah. We could do the Mount Rushmore of cartoon ducks.
Yeah.
Or just ducks.
Cartoon Ducks.
Let's do cartoon ducks. Daffy,
But like Howard
Donald.
the Duck? Is he going to qualify
Who?
as this?
Howard the
Howard?
Duck.
Who's
Is
Howard?
he a
Who's
cartoon?
Howard the
But that was a
Duck?
live action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But he's a comic
He's a
book.
comic.
He's comic book, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go Daffy, Donald, Howard,
Darkwing.
Darkwing
Yeah.
Duck.
Dude.
When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. Yeah. Darkwing Duck.
Scrooge McDuck?
Oh.
Scrooge. I would put Scrooge.
All the Mighty Ducks.
No.
No, from the cartoon. I don't know any.
Oh,
of
there was a Mighty Ducks cartoon.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking
Oh,
the-
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Goldberg.
No, well, Goldberg. Boy, it's if we got to pick Scrooge or Darkwing Duck, if that's what it comes down to, I'd probably pick Scrooge.
I think
But isn't Scrooge just kind of an offshoot of Donald?
No,
No.
that's one of the more ignorant things I've ever heard anybody say.
And I admitted to not washing my hands after going to the bathroom this episode. So
Yeah, no. It's
So what is it again? Daffy, Donald.
Daffy, Donald, Howard, Scrooge?
That's a pretty good list.
Are there any other cartoon
I mean,
ducks?
those- let me find
That's
out.
pretty.
Okay.
I mean,
Pretty sure it's
Daisy.
most of them.
Daisy
Daisy.
Duck. It feels like we might be missing a cartoon duck. We could say the duck from Garfield and Friends,
Wade.
Wade.
Yeah.
But I don't.
It's not iconic enough.
I don't think it's quite iconic enough. But boy, gosh darn it, it feels like there was a duck. There wasn't another duck on. Wasn't there another duck on Looney Tunes? But probably wouldn't have been quite iconic enough. Like, yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we got the majority of them.
What was that duck? There's like that duck that was the ugly duckling, and he was swimming with the
Oh, yeah.
swans.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
We just had that on VHS, right? That's why that's okay. All right. So let's talk about
Sunderland.
This is the end of the episode, so if you don't care about this, we understand.
Ooh, but I do have an announcement after you're done talking about this.
Okay.
So.
Sunderland Till I Die was your suggestion last week. I immediately went upstairs when the show was
Yeah.
over and watched.
binged it.
Unfortunately,
Only 3.
I watched all 3 episodes,
Yeah.
and I actually didn't know there were only 3. I stopped at 3 because I was tired, and the next day I was like, I'm so excited to watch this. And at night I pulled it up. I was like, well, wait, what happened?
Yeah, we were searching. Is it releasing every Tuesday?
I was
What-
so
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
And Jason. So you've seen all 3.
Oh, yeah.
This dude, this coach for the other team, straight out of Central Casting, they
Yeah.
couldn't.
So the definition that we gave him was a Loki vampire.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
But he's also kind of like rough and tough, and he's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
talked like this, and yeah, I'm gonna come after you.
Russian oligarch.
And the team, it was like like a Hollywood script.
It really was.
It's exactly who
Yeah.
you would pick to play in the championship game
Yeah.
of a Hollywood script. The
Yeah.
coach of the other team had long, amazing hair. He had a button-down shirt that was barely. I mean, it had 4 or 5 buttons unbuttoned at the top, and he's walking around, and the team is famous for beating people up.
Yeah.
It's like this. You would have written this, and they won.
Yeah.
And so they are
in dramatic fashion.
And then the one guy dies. I kind of saw it coming though.
Yeah.
I will say one of the things I've noticed, because I've been watching that, and then I was like jonesing for it.
Yeah.
And so I started watching the Wrexham.
Okay, we haven't started that yet.
Okay, you're gonna like this.
Okay,
you're gonna like it a lot.
It's on our list.
Now I will tell you, around season like 2 or 3, every once in a while they'll spend one episode, the entire episode, on the Wrexham female team. You can just go ahead and skip those episodes. That's what I've started doing. I was like, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not invested in these girls. I'm invested in the guys' team. I just fast forward.
Whoa!
But it happens. But it's very good.
Okay.
You're going to like it.
I'm all in.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And so I started watching Wrexham. But the thing about watching Wrexham and then watching Sunderland Till I Die, I came to this revelation that everyone gives America a hard time because there's so many fat people in America.
Yeah.
And there are.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it, there are a lot of fat people in England. Like most of the fans in the stands look like they're at a Walmart in America.
Yeah.
So you know what? England, maybe don't get so high on your horse, okay? You're not better than us.
I noticed in that episode, he goes through a drive-thru and orders 2 teas.
I know.
Did you catch that?
It was McDonald's.
Yeah, he got tea at McDonald's.
Like,
You're not getting a coffee?
Come on. Jesse, what's your announcement?
Well, Savannah and I are adding at least one new member to the Lauer Patch Kids, as we are expecting a child.
Congratulations.
Hey.
Yeah. I know, just wanted to, because I know there are a lot of people on Twitter, on X, that just love me, and I'm not really on there to make the announcement, so I think it's twins. I woke up the other day before our first appointment, and the first thing I thought, opened my eyes, I thought, we're having twins.
Wow.
So.
Are you?
I don't know. Well, I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I was a twin.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
And then you just.
I absorbed the other fetus. Erica doesn't like when I make that joke. I'm like, listen, it's my brother. Okay. Or sister. And
now he has the strength of a man and a baby.
Levi's wife, Grace, who's been on the show.
Yeah.
There'll be lots of times where I'll say things like, Grace gets it. Like we understand. It's like a twin thing. Like you guys couldn't understand, but me and Grace, we get it. How could you? So, congratulations, Jesse.
Thank you. I think.
We're gonna call it a day now. This is.
I thought.
Okay.
Am I wrong? I thought you had a little snippety snip.
No, I'd planned on having a snippety snip, but
and then he found out what it meant.
Too late.
He was like, nope. All right. Well, that's a show. This is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, boo, sit. Good dog.
I've spoken.
Good night, Lauer Patch Kids, and especially you on X, Christy from Southern California. Her Twitter handle is Eyes Open.
Yeah. Chrissy's school. She's new to the show. A new Lauer Patch Kid.
And she's just being her on X. That's what her thing says.
Yeah, she's being her.
She's very happily married. Enjoying life.
Her husband looks like